in Afghanistan, only to die here.
The tragedy is like unfathomable.
Yet another steamy day.
The heat, it's kind of excessive.
An Alzheimer's game changer.
It slows the decline by about 6 months.
Good morning. I'm Deborah Rodriguez with the CBS World News Roundup. We begin with the story of a father of four who served as an interpreter for U.S. troops in Afghanistan, then escaped the Taliban to move his family here for a better life, only to become a victim of gun violence sweeping the country. Jeremy Malone says she helped Ahmad Yar relocate to Pennsylvania.
His children were the most important thing to him. He brought them here because he wanted them to be safe.
After he was robbed at gunpoint in Philadelphia, the family moved to Alexandria, Virginia, where Yar was gunned down after a late-night lift shift. Lieutenant Colonel Matthew Butler worked with Yar in Afghanistan.
You just don't have words to describe how you feel about somebody who's given so much to this country, not even as a citizen, then comes here, experiences some of the worst behavior that our country has to offer.
Surveillance video shows four boys running from the scene of the deadly shooting, one shouting, "You killed him." Now to the heat. Every day this week, the average temperature on Earth has been the hottest ever recorded. Today, it will get above 90 in 31 states. Correspondent Manuel Bojorquez reports from one of them, Florida.
They're used to the heat, just not like this. It's so even by Miami standards. According to Miami-Dade County records, in 1970, there were 84 days when the mercury edged past 90 degrees. Last year, that number soared to 133. You can see it's hotter, throughout the year. The mix of brutal heat and humidity has been felt across the country, from Arizona to Buffalo, New York. It's too hot. In Maine, firefighters are bracing for an increase in heat-related emergency calls.
None of us that live in Maine are used to this kind of heat.
This trend is not going to reverse on its own.
Scientist Amy Clement with the University of Miami says the heat waves are becoming even more serious the warmer the planet gets.
Dangerous levels actually occur for longer periods of time.
Some parts of the country could reach 120 degrees next week. Job growth has slowed down some. The Labor Department says employers added 209,000 new positions in June. Analysts say that's still strong as the Fed considers more interest rate hikes. Unemployment fell from 3.7 to 3.6%. The U.S. is making another major show of support for Ukraine in the form of weaponry. CBS's Holly Williams is at the foreign desk.
U.S. officials have confirmed to CBS News that an announcement expected today that the U.S. will supply Ukraine with cluster munitions, reportedly thousands of them. Now, why is this controversial? Well, cluster bombs break apart midair and scatter smaller munitions over a wide area, and they pose a deadly threat to civilians, sometimes years later.
Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen is in Beijing, where she met with China's number 2 in command today. Correspondent Elizabeth Palmer is in the Chinese capital.
America is not prepared to back down on some of the things that China is most angry about, notably export controls that would block the sale to China of some of the most sophisticated chip technology with perhaps military applications on national security grounds.
There is new hope for people with Alzheimer's. The FDA has fully approved a drug that can slow cognitive decline by about 6 months. CBS News Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. John LaPook.
Lecanemab is given intravenously, costs more than $26,000 a year, and will be covered by Medicare. Researchers say it's not a cure and cannot restore memories. Still, for patients like 79-year-old Susie Mitchell, the drug is providing something that's hard to quantify: hope.
I want to maintain a good life. I do not wish to be dependent.
It's 4 minutes after the hour.
Well, that's today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I want to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dash Cam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody.